Host hello and welcome to the show. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into a very interesting document you provided. It comes from the Australia Buddha Practice Association, Australia Buddhacharya Association, specifically a transcript from their Lu's anniversary celebration. Our goal today is simple. We want to figure out exactly what this organization has been doing for its first 6 years, why they did it that way, and where this is all leading. The title is actually quite direct and theoretical foundation, but to be honest, for a charitable non-profit, doesn't it seem a bit slow to start by talking about theory instead of how many people the VE saved or how many projects the VE run? It feels a bit, well, out of touch. Analyst, haha, you VE hit the nail right on the head. That is exactly what makes this document so interesting. Before we dive deep, let us take a look at their core philosophy. The document starts right off with charity nonprofit science overcomes suffering. Wisdom promotes health. Look at that combination of words and science. Wisdom, suffering, health, putting these together feels very unique. Host, right, it sets a very different tone. This clearly isn't a traditional religious group that just wants you to meditate and chant scriptures. They are trying to mesh ancient wisdom with very modern, practical concepts, science and health. Analyst, exactly. So, the core of our discussion today is really about how ancient wisdom can actually help people today solve their real, tangible troubles. This gives us our first clue as to why they spent 6 years working on theory. Host, I see. This philosophy is like their factory setting. It dictates the logic of all their subsequent behavior. Okay, let us start with the most concrete detail. The document mentions that their physical office has been open 365 days a year for 6 years. But what really struck me was the sentence they emphasized, not because we have to, but because we choose to. There is a certain intensity in that sentence. It doesn't feel like they are just going through the motions. It feels like a very proactive, willing investment. Analyst, yes, that initiative is key. But what is even more interesting is that this visible 365-day non-stop openness is just the tip of the iceberg. The document says that behind this lies the unseen hard work of many people. Host, and speaking of which, I have to confess my first reaction when I saw that they spent 6 whole years primarily doing this unseen theoretical foundation. I had a big question mark in my mind. 6 years, just keeping the doors open while a bunch of people inside act like they are doing academic research. Doesn't that sound like armchair strategy? Aren't they afraid of becoming disconnected from the real world? Analyst, haha, this is the most counterintuitive and central part of the story. Think about it. What does every organization today, whether a commercial company or a non-profit, talk about? Agile development, small steps, run fast, host, right, and the MVP, minimum viable product. Just get started and iterate through mistakes. Analyst, but this association went completely the opposite way. They spent 6 years building what you might call a maximum theoretically complete product. They weren't busy running around putting out fires. They were deeply studying the physics of combustion. Host, maximum theoretically complete product wall. That contrast is vivid. Analyst, exactly. So when the document says they were deeply studying the classics, thoroughly contemplating the teachings, and systematically reviewing the Buddha's complete stages of cultivation without taking shortcuts, these aren't just slogans. It has a declaration. They are declaring their refusal to accept any superficial understanding. In this era of extreme pursuit of efficiency and short-term returns, having the patience to settle down, trace things back to the source, and build a solid, self-consistent knowledge system is extremely rare in itself. Host, okay, I understand the hard work they did internally. It has like a top-tier research institute obsessing over the most fundamental questions. But here is the problem. Research institute findings are usually locked in an ivory tower. Ordinary people can't access them. How did they avoid that? Analyst, that has the other half of their strategy, and it has where they were smart. The document mentions that while conducting this high-intensity internal research, they were also operating an online platform. The work there was to translate complex Buddhist concepts into easy-to-understand language, creating resources that people could actually use. Host: I see, so one line goes deep, and the other line goes wide. One internal, one external. Analyst: completely correct. Think of it like an energy converter. The internal, profound, rigorous research is like a nuclear reactor, continuously generating massive amounts of energy. The external, accessible platform is like the power grid, converting this nuclear energy which ordinary people can't use directly into electricity that every household can plug into. Host: that analogy is easy to understand. The internal hard work ensures the accuracy and depth of their external output, so it doesn't just become chicken soup for the soul, and the external popularization work gives these deep theories a realistic outlet and value, so they don't become empty talk. Analyst: precisely. So for these 6 years, they were essentially building a theoretical power plant and a power transmission system. It was a very solid phase of laying the foundation on dual tracks. Host: it already sounds impressive. They must be quite satisfied with their results from these 6 years, right? Analyst: and theoretically, they should be. But then, the document throws out a huge plot twist, the most dramatic moment of the story. After spending 6 years and pouring in so much effort, the document's conclusion is, this is not enough. Host: wait, this is not enough. My first reaction is that's so weird. They spent 6 years, put in so much blood, sweat, and tears, and now they say it's not enough. It sounds like self-denial. Do they feel the first 6 years were wasted? Analyst: quite the opposite. I think this phrase "not enough" actually proves just how solid and successful their work in the first 6 years was. Think about it, only when you have studied the map thoroughly enough can you clearly see the places that aren't marked on the map. Host: that makes sense. They aren't denying the past, they are undergoing a crucial cognitive upgrade based on the solid foundation they've already built. Analyst: a cognitive upgrade, how so? Host: because they realize that pure theoretical knowledge is like a finely crafted key, but the key itself cannot open the door, you have to find the right lock. The document says they needed to find the correct entry point, a connection point where Dharma wisdom meets the actual suffering of sentient beings to resolve problems. Analyst: Dharma wisdom sounds a bit high concept. Can we translate that into plain English? Does it mean understanding the fundamental principles of how things work, and then using those principles to solve people's real-world pain? Host: you put it very accurately. That's exactly what it means. So, they spent 6 years sharpening the key to perfection, but now they realized the biggest challenge was finding the lock. Analyst: the lock. What exactly is that lock? What kind of actual suffering is big enough to make an organization that prepared for 6 years feel they must focus all their resources on it? Host: yes, that is the key question. What did they discover? The document gives an incredibly impactful answer here. I feel I have to read this passage in full because every word carries weight. It writes, most people are suffering, not just spiritually or seemingly, but physically. Their bodies are breaking down, their minds are clouded, and often they don't even know why. Analyst: wow, bodies are breaking down. That sentence is so direct. It has a cold, brutal sense of reality. Unlike many organizations that talk about abstract spiritual confusion or mental pursuits, this points directly to the most fundamental state of survival of the body. Host: yes, this discovery is like a bolt of lightning that instantly illuminated their path forward. It is like a professor who studied philosophy all his life suddenly walking out of his study and realizing that what the people around him need most isn't a profound philosophy book, but an aspirin. This drastic shift from the metaphysical to the physical completely defined their direction. Analyst, the organization's focus shifted sharply from a possibly abstract spiritual level to a concrete, universal level concerning everyone's quality of survival, the physical level. Host, when you put it that way, all the previous clues link up. Remember the philosophy we mentioned at the start. Science overcomes suffering. Wisdom promotes health. Analyst, right, look at the wisdom part. The VE laid a solid foundation through 6 years of theoretical work, and now the discovery that bodies are breaking down provides a clear, concrete target for the world's science. Suffering and health. People's physical suffering has become the battlefield where they will apply the theoretical knowledge they've prepared for 6 years. Host, this discovery prevents their theory from floating in the air. It gives it a solid landing spot, a field where they can directly intervene and create impact. The organization's mission became crystal clear in that moment. Analyst, so this 6-year theoretical foundation wasn't an academic exercise for the sake of theory. It was more like a strategic deployment. Host, yes, to ensure that future actions are precise and effective, and supported by deep enough roots. Analyst, that is exactly what I wanted to say. It reflects a deliberate strategic intent. There is a critical sentence in the document. Through this 6-year foundation, we have been able to develop the Buddha's right view clearly enough to see where true great compassion will lead us. Host, right view and great compassion. These two terms sound important, but again, a bit abstract. Can you translate them for us again? Analyst, of course. For right view, let's use a simple metaphor. It is like a pair of special glasses that allow you to see the essence of a problem without bias. Host, a pair of glasses. Analyst, yes, put them on, and you can see through to the root cause of things rather than being confused by appearances. And great compassion is that powerful will and drive to help everyone. The logic of the document is if you haven't put on the glasses of right view, your powerful great compassion might be applied in the wrong place, or you might even help in a way that makes things worse. Host, I get it. Like a doctor who has passion but no diagnostic skills, they might prescribe the wrong medicine. Analyst, that has the principle. So, essentially, they didn't spend 6 years just reading books. They were crafting a pair of incredibly precise glasses. Only by wearing these glasses do they dare to say they know where to go and what to do. Host, completely correct. Their actions won't be blind, scattered, or reactive. Analyst, right, not reactive. Many charity organizations might just go extinguish fires wherever they see smoke. That is worthy of respect, of course, but the logic of this association is, I need to thoroughly understand the psychology of the arsonist and the physics of fire first, so I can solve the problem at its root. This 6-year theoretical study served a very clear practical purpose: to use the right view and great compassion they understand to solve that core problem. They discovered the physical suffering of sentient beings. It is a clear process from why to what. Host, they spent 6 years thinking through the why with immense clarity. Now, finally, it is time to reveal the what. This leads to the final, powerful, and suspenseful sentence of the document. After laying out all this background, it ends the review with one sentence. Therefore, we are ready to put this into action. Analyst, that ending really leaves you hanging. Host, it does. It is like the end of a superhero movie. The protagonist spends the whole movie training, awakening, understanding who they are, and in the final shot, puts on the suit and prepares to fly out of the screen. You are incredibly eager for the sequel to find out what exactly they are going to do. This document gave me the exact same feeling. It stops abruptly right there, full of dramatic tension, proclaiming the start of a new era. Analyst, exactly. That is the feeling. Host, alright, let us do a quick recap of our analysis. Starting from the document you provided, we traced a very clear storyline. It began with a commitment and office open 365 days a year, but behind that was 6 years of unseen hard work, systematic theoretical research. Then, this long preparation phase led to a critical turning point, a shocking discovery about physical suffering. Finally, all the theoretical preparation and profound insights converged into a powerful declaration: we are ready to put this into action. Analyst, it has a complete loop, from theory to reality, from preparation to practice. If we look at it from a macro-structural perspective, this document is written very brilliantly. It is actually writing the history of this organization as a clear-to-act play. Hostile to act play. Analyst, yes, Act 1 is the 6-year theoretical preparation, full of patience, depth, and self-examination. This is the story of laying the foundation, and Act 2 will be the action that unfolds based on those deep insights. This is the story of action. For an organization to define its own development with such confidence and narrative sense is very worth thinking about in itself. It has not just a simple anniversary report, it has a strategic manifesto. Host, well said. The document ends here, but it leaves us with a question worth pondering, one that might apply to every single one of us. If an organization is willing to spend 6 whole years meticulously constructing the theoretical and philosophical foundation of why before launching the specific what, how might their future actions differ in quality and impact compared to those who jump straight into action on day one? Analyst, it really makes you think. Bringing it back to your own work or life, do you have a big project you've wanted to do for a long time before rushing to start? How much time are you willing to spend to truly polish that core why? Host, this story might give us some new inspiration. Sometimes, the fastest path is precisely the one you are willing to spend the most time preparing for.